Hello, hello. Welcome back to Manifesting Minds. Today we're talking about manifesting blocks, and today's topic is the universe is not a lottery ticket. Actually, it kind of is a lottery ticket, but I think the commercial says you have to play to win. Okay, so when we're manifesting, we have all of these ideas that, $1 million is just going to drop on our head, or, the perfect person is going to actually trip and fall on top of you or something like that. It can happen like that. In fact, it frequently does. Excuse me. The universe can answer in miraculous ways. I don't believe that anything is a coincidence. I think that everything is manifested. And when something quirky happens, when you think of somebody and then you look down at your phone and they texted you, or, you randomly have a thought and then all of a sudden it happens, none of that is coincidence. That is us manifesting. However, most of the time, especially if we're talking about big things, especially if we're talking about the career of our dreams or the trip of our dreams, the experience of our dreams, whatever, if it's something bigger like that, we got to play to win. Far too often, I have clients that have these fantastic vision boards and they've got it all planned out, exactly what they want, and then they sit and they wait for something to happen. And the universe doesn't work that way. So I think I talked about this in one of the other videos, there's a safety mechanism on the law of attraction. Otherwise, every time we thought something, we would manifest it. And that might not necessarily be a good thing. I mean, if you thought about a purple unicorn and all of a sudden you manifested it in your living room, that would kind of be inconvenient. That kind of reminds me of like that Jumanji game where roll the dice and all these random things happen. Life would be like that if there were no safety mechanisms on manifesting. So one of the safety mechanisms, especially when we're talking about big things that we want to create in our life, is we have to work in harmony with what we're asking for. Actually, this topic kind of made me think of prayer, because the concept of prayer is actually a religious version of manifesting. So if you think about prayer, the steps that you follow are, you have to be really specific that you know what you're asking God for, right? Then you leave it in his hands with complete confidence that God is going to answer this prayer. And then step number 3 is you work in harmony with that prayer. And when you follow those 3 steps, prayers get answered. So we are talking about this on a much larger scale because the concepts that allow religious prayers to work are actually just really scientific laws of energy. It's the scientific laws of the universe. When you're working, let's say you've got this vision of the perfect business. You know exactly what you want. You can see it, you can feel it. There are action steps required. We have to answer the phone calls that come in. We have to follow up with the leads that fall into our lap. I think on the last video, I mentioned a real estate client that I had coached, and her price range was, $250,000, $300,000. And as we were working on increasing her income, I mean, you could either do 5 deals or you could do $1 million deal. The income would be the same for, obviously much less work if you did $1 million deal versus 5 $200,000 deals. Anyway, so she was working on manifesting that. And you know what? She got a call in on one of her listings, and this person was looking for $1 million property. And she didn't follow up on it. Whoopsie. So here she goes and she manifests it, but she does not actually manifest the paycheck because we do have to work in harmony with this. Maybe somebody has a sales business. Maybe they have some marvelous product that they want to sell. And then there's crickets. Well, you know what? If nobody knows that your product is there, what is the universe supposed to do? Drop a person in your living room and beg you to buy it? We have to work in harmony with what it is that we are asking for. We have to show the universe that we mean it. What do they say? The squeaky wheel gets the grease or something like that, right? It means that enthusiasm, that energy, you know what? Motion is an energy. So when we are acting in harmony with what it is that we're looking for, it changes the dynamic of the brain too. So what's the difference between a dream and a goal? Well, a dream is, a castle in the sky. And a goal is you place an order for the bricks so that you can start building that castle in the sky. Maybe you've got a dream destination, a dream vacation. Well, that is going to be a dream destination until you pick a date. September 20th, I am going on this vacation, and then you buy the tickets. You are never going to get that dream vacation if you don't take those action steps. What does that mean for our manifesting then? Well, if you have a super big idea, if you have super big potential, then we also have to become as big as the potential that we're trying to create. We have to be ready for it. What if you're not ready for it yet? I was recently talking to somebody about that, and she was feeling a little bit frustrated because she has these big goals and she has these big ideas, but she's not totally sure the path. Anyway, so I said, well, what are the action steps? And she says, well, I haven't taken the action steps yet. And I said, okay, are you ready to be big? If the universe dropped this in your lap, like the house in the Wizard of Oz dropping on somebody's head, if the universe dropped it in your lap right now, are you ready? Can you take on those responsibilities? Are you ready for that growth? Are you ready for the rocket ship? And she goes, actually, no. No, I've got a couple of things that I have to take care of first. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. It's your life. And sometimes we have to be a little bit realistic with what it is that we are wanting to create. We have to be realistic with what it is that we're trying to attract, because honestly, maybe we're not quite ready for it yet. Maybe we have to get our little ducks in a row first. Or maybe we manifest something a little bit more manageable, something that we can work in harmony with. Maybe your business can't handle 500 new clients because you don't have the employees, you don't have the office space, you don't have the infrastructure. Okay, manifest 5. Can you do that? Do you have what it takes? Are you big enough to handle some smaller goals? The smaller manifestations actually can be a huge encouragement burst too, because as you see that you were able to pull in 3 clients, what does the universe care? What's the difference between 3 and 5? What's the difference between 5 and 10? What's the difference between 10 and 20? Really not that much, because we're talking about universal potential. The lady that didn't follow up on the real estate deal, I did talk too about cross messages. We're sending the universe sometimes these mixed signals. So sometimes something falls in our lap. Perhaps the reason why we don't go into motion and we're not, doing anything, it could be limiting beliefs about our capabilities, limiting beliefs about whether we deserve it. Sometimes there's reasons why we're not taking action. Those we would want to address separately. I mean, if you notice yourself procrastinating, if you notice yourself putting things off, you can procrastinate indefinitely. That we need to get to the bottom of. Why are we putting it off? Is it because we feel like we're not ready? Is it because we feel like we don't deserve it? Those are all internal issues that can be real blocks for the law of attraction. The title of this video is "The Universe is Not a Lottery Ticket," but actually it is a lottery ticket. Like I said, you have to play to win. Maybe even not even playing a lot. Excuse me. You know, some of the limiting beliefs that we can have are maybe something like, if I'm going to make $1 million, I'm going to have to work 1,000,000 hours. Sometimes we think that the effort we're going to have to put into it is going to be more than what it actually is. That is a limiting belief that we want to work on. The universe is abundant. And people who learn how to manifest and they learn how to use the law of attraction, it is a leveraging game. The amount of energy that we put forth, when we combine it with that energetic sense of abundance, the vision, the feeling, and the actions, the three of those together are the catalyst for the universe to be your lottery ticket. So making $1 million doesn't have to mean you're working 1,000,000 hours, but you got to work some hours. You have to do something. And so we want to make sure that we're not limiting ourselves by thinking that it's going to be too hard. The universe will give you coincidences. The universe will cash that lottery ticket for you. It will give you that lottery ticket, but we got to mean it. Okay, so here's some homework for you. If you already know what your vision is, if you already know what your dream is, what could you be doing? What baby steps? I mean, that's the other thing too. I always go off on tangents towards the end. I try to close it up and then I go on a tangent. But one baby step is better than no steps at all. Okay? If you're in a sales business, one phone call that nobody answers is still momentum. It is still action. That still counts. That still counts. You may not feel like it counts because you don't have a dollar sign attached to that, but the universe is watching that energetic shift. You know, that energetic shift as you get up off the couch and you do something to make your dreams come true. Some of the words that I love about manifesting and law of attraction is that we are co-creators with the universe. Okay, so if we are co-creators, the universe is taking up a lot of the burden of the work, but we also have to create. We are also creating in this process, which means we have to do something. Or we are just the creators. You can even take it to that extreme and say, I am a child of God. I am made in the image of God, and I'm a creator. Okay, so create, do something. One baby step is better than no steps at all. One phone call is better than nothing at all. One video is better than no videos at all. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the conclusion and hopefully not go on another tangent. Your homework is, if you already know what your vision is, what is a baby step that you can do, or a bigger step? What are the steps that you can take that show the universe that you mean it? How do you buy the lottery ticket? What can you do that buys that lottery ticket for the universe to cash in for you? And if you find yourself procrastinating, well, then we need to figure out why. Is it limiting beliefs? What is it that's causing you to not take action into turning dreams into goals and destinations? Okay, that's the topic for today. Please, please, please like and subscribe and share these videos, because these videos are for everybody. These videos are for every demographic. These are the laws of the universe that are all around us, and we're using them anyway. So we might as well learn how to use them on purpose. Okie doke. Please leave your comments on any questions that you might have or future topics, roadblocks that you run into. Feel free to shoot me an email. This is my specialty. This is the topic that I love. And it's what I do professionally, helping people figure out their individual blocks because every human is individual and we're all unique. So there's my email right there. Send me an email or send me a comment, and I will talk to you soon.